What if I told you that you could add 30 more quality years to your life after you turn 65? And what if I told you that the key to doing that isn't some expensive surgery or some pharmaceutical drug that costs thousands of dollars? What if it's actually something you can do every single morning before you even brush your teeth? Well, hey, I'm Dr. Rena, and what we're diving into today is going to completely change how you think about aging, cellular regeneration, and what's actually possible for your health in the second half of your life. Listen, I know you probably heard a lot of claims about longevity. You've probably seen the clickbait headlines about some secret fountain of youth, some magic pill that everyone's taking in Silicon Valley. But here's what I want to tell you right from the start. The science we're going to talk about today is real. It's backed by decades of research. And honestly, it's way more empowering than anything else you've heard because it puts the power back in your hands. We're talking about something that happens inside your body every single day. Right now, as you're watching this, trillions of your cells are dying. And I know that sounds scary, but stick with me because here's the beautiful part. At the same time that your cells are dying, your body is creating new ones. We're talking about roughly 2 trillion new cells being created in your body every single day. 2 trillion. That number is so massive that it's actually hard to wrap your mind around it, but what it means is that your body has an incredible capacity to renew itself. The problem is that as we get older, and especially as we hit that 65-year mark, the quality of that cellular regeneration starts to decline. Your cells start regenerating slower. The new cells that are created aren't as healthy as they used to be. The process becomes less efficient. And that's where most people think aging is inevitable. That's where most people think, well, I'm old now. This is just what happens. But the science is showing us something completely different. What if I told you that you can actually optimize that cellular regeneration process? What if you can actually make sure that those 2 trillion new cells being created every single day are the highest quality cells possible? What if you can actually slow down the aging process at a cellular level and potentially add not just years to your life, but quality years that you actually want to live? That's what we're diving into today, and I want you to understand something right from the beginning. This isn't about living longer just to be alive. This is about living longer while maintaining your independence, your health, your energy, and your ability to do the things you love. Because what good is living an extra 30 years if you're spending those 30 years in a hospital bed or dealing with chronic disease? The beauty of what we're about to talk about is that it addresses the cellular root of aging itself. Now, let me give you some context about why cellular regeneration is such a big deal. Your body is essentially replacing itself all the time. Your skin cells, your gut cells, your blood cells, your bone cells, your muscle cells, they're all being replaced on different schedules. Your red blood cells have a lifespan of about 120 days. Your skin cells replace themselves roughly every 2 to 4 weeks. Your gut lining replaces itself every 3 to 5 days. And this constant process of renewal is actually one of the most fundamental things keeping you alive. But here's what most people don't understand. The instructions for creating these new cells come from your genes, from your lifestyle, from your environment, and from your daily habits. And this is where it gets exciting because it means you actually have significant control over the quality of the cells your body is creating. You're not a prisoner to your genetics. You're not stuck with whatever was programmed when you were born. The science of epigenetics shows us that your daily habits, your lifestyle choices, and what you do every single day actually influences how your genes are expressed and what kind of cells your body creates. So when we talk about doing something specific in the morning, we're talking about creating an environment in your body that essentially says to your cellular machinery, create healthy, young, vibrant cells. We're talking about triggering the biological processes that are literally associated with youth and vitality. Let me back up for a second and talk about something called autophagy. Now, autophagy is a process that sounds complicated, but the concept is actually really simple. It's basically your cells cleaning house. It's a cellular process where your body identifies damaged or dysfunctional cells and removes them, breaking them down and either recycling the parts or getting rid of them completely. When autophagy works efficiently, it's like having a cleaning crew inside your body that goes through every night and every day, removing the junk and clearing out the damage. And when autophagy is working efficiently, your cells are healthier, you have more energy, you think more clearly, and you literally age slower. But here's the problem. Most of us have essentially turned off our autophagy. We've turned it off through how we eat, when we eat, what we eat, our stress levels, our sleep patterns, and our lack of movement. And when autophagy isn't working, your cells start accumulating damage. That damage accumulates over years and decades. And that's where diseases come from. That's where the aging process accelerates. So what activates autophagy? What turns on this cellular cleaning process? Well, there are several things, but the most powerful triggers are fasting and movement. When your body goes into a fasted state, when you haven't eaten for a period of time, your cells start this autophagy process. And when you move your body, especially in specific ways, you also trigger this process. This is why the morning routine we're talking about is so powerful, because the morning is the perfect time to activate these processes before you break your fast with food. You've already been fasting for 8, 9, 10 hours, or however long you sleep. Your body is primed and ready to go into deep autophagy. And if you do specific things in the morning before you eat, you can dramatically amplify that process. So here's what I want you to do, and I want you to really commit to this, because if you do this consistently, you're going to notice changes in your energy, in your mental clarity, in how you feel, and in your appearance over the next few weeks and months. First thing in the morning, and I mean the very first thing, before you check your phone, before you drink coffee, before you do anything else, I want you to drink a full glass of water. And not just any water. I want you to drink water that's been sitting out, or room temperature water, not cold water. There's a reason for this. When you drink water first thing in the morning, you're rehydrating your body after 8 hours or more of sleep. Your body is dehydrated. Every single cell in your body needs water to function optimally. And when you rehydrate in the morning, you're immediately enhancing cellular function. You're improving the flow of nutrients to your cells. You're improving the removal of waste products from your cells. You're literally turning on the cellular machinery that needs to function for healthy cell regeneration. But here's the deeper thing. When you drink water first thing in the morning before food, you're also activating something called water-induced thermogenesis. Your body has to work to process that water, to regulate it, and in doing so, it burns calories and it triggers metabolic activity. You're waking up your metabolism before you've had food. After you drink that water, I want you to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. And during those 15 to 20 minutes, I want you to do something that's going to sound really simple, but it's incredibly powerful. I want you to move your body. And I don't mean go to the gym. I don't mean do an intense workout. I mean gentle movement. I'm talking about stretching. I'm talking about going for a slow walk. I'm talking about doing some light yoga. I'm talking about moving in a way that feels good and natural. Why? Because movement triggers muscle activation, and muscles are one of the biggest drivers of metabolic health and cellular regeneration. When you move your muscles, even gently, several important things happen. First, your muscles contract, and muscle contractions stimulate the release of a whole bunch of beneficial compounds. Second, you increase blood flow throughout your body, which means more oxygen and more nutrients are being delivered to your cells. Third, you stimulate something called muscle protein synthesis, which is essential for maintaining and building muscle as you age. And here's the really important part. Muscle is metabolically active. Muscle burns calories even when you're at rest. Muscle is one of the best predictors of longevity. People who maintain muscle mass as they age live longer, have better quality of life, and stay independent much longer. So spend 15 to 20 minutes moving, go for a walk, do some stretching, do some yoga, do whatever feels good to you. The key is consistency. Do this every single morning. Now, after you've moved your body for 15 to 20 minutes, here's where we get into the really good stuff. I want you to expose your body to cold. Now, I know that sounds intense, but hear me out. You don't have to jump into a cold shower. You can start small. You could splash cold water on your face. You could do a cold shower. You could do a contrast shower where you alternate between hot and cold water. But the science on cold exposure is absolutely fascinating. When you expose your body to cold, you activate something called brown adipose tissue. Brown fat, as people call it. And brown fat is completely different from white fat. White fat is the fat that stores energy. Brown fat is metabolically active fat that actually burns calories to produce heat. It's a process called thermogenesis. When you activate brown fat, you're increasing your metabolic rate, you're burning more calories, you're improving insulin sensitivity, you're triggering the release of immune-boosting compounds, you're improving circulation, and you're also triggering the release of hormones and neurotransmitters that are associated with feeling alert and energized. Beyond brown fat activation, cold exposure also triggers something called the cold shock response. When your body is exposed to cold, it releases molecules called cold shock proteins. These proteins have profound effects on cellular health. They improve protein folding in your cells, they protect your cells from stress, they trigger autophagy, they enhance mitochondrial function. Your mitochondria are the powerhouses of your cells. They're the things that produce the energy that keeps you alive. When your mitochondria are healthy and functioning well, you have more energy, you think more clearly, and you age slower. And here's something really interesting. There's research showing that repeated cold exposure over time actually increases your cold tolerance. So when you first start, it might be uncomfortable. But after a few weeks of consistent cold exposure, your body adapts. You become more comfortable with it. Your heart rate variability improves. Your nervous system becomes more resilient. You literally become more adaptable to stress in general. So I want you to incorporate some cold exposure into your morning routine. It doesn't have to be extreme. Start with something manageable. Splash your face with cold water. Work your way up to cold showers if you want to. But commit to this for at least a few weeks and notice the changes you experience. Now, after your cold exposure, I want you to do something that's going to sound controversial, but I want you to trust me on this because the science is solid. I want you to fast. I want you to not eat food for a period of time after you wake up. And I know that goes against everything you've probably heard about breakfast being the most important meal of the day. But here's the thing about that myth. That was literally made up by cereal companies in the 1960s. There's no evidence that eating breakfast as soon as you wake up is optimal for your health. What we do know is that fasting is one of the most powerful tools for cellular health that we have. When you fast, your insulin levels drop. When your insulin levels drop, your body can finally access stored fat for energy instead of constantly trying to burn the glucose from your last meal. When your insulin levels are low, your body activates autophagy more intensely. Your cells start cleaning themselves out. Damaged proteins are broken down. Dysfunctional organelles are removed, and your cells become cleaner and healthier. Fasting also triggers something called hormesis, which is basically your cells becoming more resilient through mild stress. When your body goes without food for a period of time, your cells interpret that as a mild stressor. And in response to that stressor, they upregulate their defense mechanisms. They produce more antioxidants. They enhance their ability to repair DNA damage. They become more efficient. It's like strength training for your cells at a biological level. Now, I'm not saying you need to do extreme fasting. I'm saying do an intermittent fasting approach. Wake up, do your morning routine, drink your water, move your body, do your cold exposure, and then wait before eating. Try to wait for at least 2 hours after you wake up before you have your first meal. If you can extend that to 3 or 4 hours, even better. Some people do longer fasts, which is fine, but you don't have to jump into that. Consistency over intensity is the key here. During your fasting window, you can drink water. You can drink herbal tea. You can drink black coffee if you want. The idea is that you're not consuming calories, so your body can continue that fasted state where autophagy is working and your cells are cleaning themselves. Now, here's where we get into something that's going to make a real difference in your life. After your fasting window, when you do eat, I want you to be intentional about what you eat. And I'm not going to tell you that you need to eat some perfect diet. I'm not going to tell you that you can never have carbs or that you need to eat only organic vegetables. What I am going to tell you is that the foods you eat are literally the building blocks for the 2 trillion new cells your body is creating every single day. If you eat nutrient-dense whole foods, your body creates healthy, vibrant cells. If you eat processed foods full of seed oils, refined carbs, and additives, your body creates damaged, inflamed cells. It's that simple. So focus on foods that are rich in nutrients. Focus on foods that your great-grandparents would have recognized as food. Eat plenty of vegetables. Eat healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds. Eat quality protein. Eat fruits. Eat whole grains if they make you feel good. Eat foods that are rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds because those are the compounds that protect your cells from damage. And here's something really important. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel. After you eat, do you feel energized or do you feel sluggish? Do you feel clear or do you feel foggy? Your body is telling you whether certain foods support cellular health or whether they're creating inflammation and damage. Beyond what you eat, I want to talk about something else that's going to be absolutely crucial for living 30 more years after 65, and that's sleep. Sleep is where the real magic happens. Sleep is where your body does most of its cellular repair and regeneration. During sleep, your body increases human growth hormone production. Growth hormone is essential for maintaining muscle, bone density, and metabolic health. During sleep, your immune system is strengthened. During sleep, your brain does something called the glymphatic process, where it clears out toxins and waste products that accumulated during the day. During sleep, memories are consolidated. During sleep, your body repairs DNA damage. If you're not sleeping well, you're essentially sabotaging everything else you're doing. You could do the perfect morning routine, eat the perfect food, exercise regularly, and if you're only getting 5 or 6 hours of poor quality sleep, you're still aging faster than you should be. So I want you to prioritize sleep. I want you to aim for 7 to 9 hours every single night. I want you to have a consistent sleep schedule, meaning you go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. I want you to make your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet. I want you to reduce your exposure to blue light from screens in the hours before bed. I want you to avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. I want you to avoid heavy meals right before bed. I want you to create a wind-down routine where you're doing something relaxing before sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is essential infrastructure for health. And if you can't do the morning routine I'm describing, but you can improve your sleep, you'll probably get better results from improving your sleep than anything else. Now let's talk about why all of this is so powerful for extending your life after 65. Because here's what's really happening. After you hit around age 65, you start losing muscle at a rate of about 3% per year if you're not doing anything to prevent it. You start losing bone density, your metabolic rate slows down, your risk for chronic disease increases, your cognitive function starts to decline if you're not protecting your brain. These are things that most people think are inevitable. They think, well, I'm getting old, this is just what happens. But the science is showing us that what drives all of these things is cellular health. If you have healthy cells, if your cells are regenerating properly, if your cells are not accumulating damage, then you don't have to experience most of the typical signs of aging. You can maintain muscle, you can maintain bone density, you can maintain a healthy metabolic rate, you can protect yourself from chronic disease, you can protect your brain and maintain cognitive function, and that's what the morning routine I'm describing actually does. It's optimizing the regeneration of those 2 trillion new cells every single day. It's making sure that the cells being created are healthy and young and vibrant. It's clearing out damaged cells through autophagy. It's improving mitochondrial function so your cells have plenty of energy. It's creating an environment where your body can literally rebuild itself from the inside out. And the beautiful thing is that this isn't something that requires a doctor's prescription. This isn't something that costs thousands of dollars. This isn't something that requires special equipment or supplements, although high-quality supplements can certainly support the process. This is something you can do starting tomorrow morning. You can wake up, drink a glass of water, go for a walk, take a cold shower or splash cold water on your face, and then wait a couple of hours before you eat. That simple routine done consistently can genuinely change your life. And I want you to understand something. You're not going to see the results of this in a day or a week. You're going to start noticing changes in your energy, in your mental clarity, in how your clothes fit, in how you feel in your body within 2 or 3 weeks. But the real magic, the real anti-aging benefits at a cellular level, that's what happens over months and years as you do this consistently. Your cells are constantly dying and being replaced. Right now, in this very moment, you have the opportunity to make sure that the cells being created are the healthiest, youngest versions possible. You have the opportunity to activate your body's natural capacity to regenerate itself. You have the opportunity to essentially reset your biological clock and not just add years to your life, but add vitality and quality and independence to those years. The people who are living into their 90s and 100 with good health, with mental sharpness, with physical vitality, with independence, these people almost always have a few things in common. They move their bodies. They sleep well. They eat whole foods. They manage their stress. They stay engaged mentally and socially. And many of them do some version of what I'm describing, even if they didn't know the science behind it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to commit to this morning routine for 30 days. Just 30 days. Wake up, drink water, move your body, do cold exposure, fast for at least 2 hours before eating. Do this every single day for 30 days. And just notice what happens. Notice how your energy changes. Notice how your mental clarity improves. Notice how your body starts to feel different. Notice how your mood improves. Notice how your cravings change. Notice how your sleep improves. And here's what I think you're going to find, that after 30 days, you're not going to want to stop. You're going to feel so good that doing this routine is going to feel like a gift to yourself, not a burden. You're going to want to continue because you're going to directly experience what it feels like when your cells are regenerating properly, when your body is operating at a higher level of health. And then, once you've established this routine, you can build on it. You can add consistent exercise. You can improve your nutrition further. You can address your stress levels. You can improve your sleep even more. You can address other aspects of your health. But the foundation is this morning routine. Listen, the fact that you're watching this video tells me that you care about your health. You care about your future. You're looking for information that can actually help you. And I want you to know that what we're talking about today is real. It's not marketing hype. It's not something that only works for celebrities or people with special genetics. It's biology. It's how your body actually works. And if you apply these principles, your life is going to change. You could add 30 more years to your life after 65. You could maintain your independence, your energy, your mental sharpness, your ability to do the things you love. But it all starts with the choices you make every single morning. It all starts with understanding that you have way more control over your aging process than you've been led to believe. So start tomorrow. Wake up and commit to this. Drink your water, move your body, do your cold exposure, fast before eating, and then come back and let me know what you experience. Drop a comment down below and tell me what changes you've noticed after doing this routine consistently. Because your story, your results, that's what's going to inspire other people to take control of their health too. And if you found this valuable, if you're excited about the possibility of living 30 more years with vibrant health and vitality, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone you love. Because everybody deserves to know that aging isn't inevitable. Everybody deserves to know that they have the power to extend their life and their health span, not just their lifespan. That's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is all about. I'm Dr. Rena, and I'm committed to helping you unlock your potential for extraordinary health. So let's do this together. Your future self is already thanking you for the choice you're about to make. Now go out there and regenerate.